do think that it can be a huge developing asset and be a real unique and special place, right here. There's just, it has nothing like it. Not even Disney, if you ask me. They don't have an aircraft carrier. So that was great news, and we are all invited today, even though there are not kids in there today. If we want to come by after the meeting, Aaron is happy to show everybody around and some of the capabilities that they do have. The teacher recertification course is coming up. There'll be 3rd, 5th, and 8th grade teacher focus, and there'll be 2 workshops, math, career, and Boeing and maybe even Lockheed will be helpers supporting that. And I think that the folks filled up pretty quickly too, if I'm not mistaken. So all of these things are really popular when these people can access the ship for educational purposes. We also met with the EOC. People came down and visited and looked at the Yorktown for their retreat will be coming up in August, and they're really happy with what they saw and looking forward to being here. We're also meeting with the Medal of Honor group and working towards aligning the Medal of Honor programs and our Patriots Point education programs. Meredith reported that the Postal Courier CBD previewed the 80th event that we had last night, and she gave special thanks to all the people that had worked on that, and we'd like to thank them too. It's just a great team effort. We also discussed a facility design plan with an RFP going out that will focus interpretive signage and make everything uniform on the ship and authenticate and improve our spaces, meaning that the spaces that people go into to really get in there and upgrade, and we're looking forward to having the RFP group that comes, that's chosen to take fresh eyes through our spaces and really recommend a new or an improved experience. And one of the things that I was impressed with is part of the goal for this is to focus on an analysis of what those people did that served in those spaces, and have the students and the visitors start to really put themselves in their places and have a more authentic experience. They will ID projects and fundraising opportunities, and they will come back to the board as soon as this RFP is executed, and the plan should take about 9 to 12 months. So it will be very comprehensive. Did I miss anything? Any questions? Well, great. Thanks for everything y'all do. It's really exciting. Thank you.
Thanks, Susan. Darwin, operations, facilities.
I have operations, and followed by operations will be finance. But from starting with operations, one interesting. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. One interesting thing is we've been meeting with the Lappy Association, and we really have an excellent relationship with that group. Also, we're in the process of securing a new permit for the ship through the Corps of Engineer, and GEL Engineering is helping us. But we are now being certified as a structure on water versus a vessel. So anyway, I'm not sure what all that means, but that's the way it is with the Corps of Engineers. We have
Sunset Cruises off.
environmental assessment. We have 3 aircraft restorations underway. We also have certified 3 personnel to be inspectors for the ship. We currently have 7 vacancies, we currently have 11 vacancies, and certainly the most critical vacancy that we have are in the electrician category. So that's most of the information relating to operations. There will be other information regarding operations later. Financially, we made $400,000 last month. Our cash on hand as of March 31 is $13,350,000, which is an increase of $1,200,000 since the start of the fiscal year. Our operating revenues have been, for the same period, $10 million. Our operating expenditures are $7.2 million. So our gain before depreciation and interest for the period July through March 23 is $2,850,000. If you take a look at the underlying pieces behind the financials, our paid attendance is down just a freckle from last year, and most of that occurred during the first part of the year. And of course, that causes our admissions revenue to be down just a bit. Gift shop revenue continues to grow, and they're up another $170,000 year to date. Lease revenue year to date is up $120,000. Certainly our camping revenue that we didn't have, it's up $590,000. Our parking revenue is pretty flat, but year to date, we've had a net increase of $816,000 in that same period. So we're really in good shape financially, and it's kind of nice to have this kind of cash on hand. The only outstanding debt that we have, at some point in time, we will get a bill for the final disposition of the Clemagore. And Mr. Chairman, that completes my report.
Thank you, Darwin. Any questions of Darwin? Hearing none, executive directors report.
Did we want to have any action on the HR question?
Oh, I'm sorry, Darwin.
Yeah.
You,
yes, sir.
You got
I do have a resolution regarding HR. I just wanted to make sure if Nick had anything to report on HR. HR is now under, I guess, finance
how about making the resolution, the motion, and
sure,
then
okay.
we can discuss it.
I've got it. We do have a resolution regarding to HR, and the resolution is to approve HR contract with the state.
All right, Allison, is there a second? Well, it doesn't need a second with the committee resolution. Allison, you want to explain what we?
Absolutely. So my second week here, we had just by happenstance, we have 2 HR employees, and they happened to leave right close to the same time. So it presented an opportunity. We put the ad out for an HR replacement, but we really wanted to take a look at other alternatives. So we were as we began doing our research and finding out what options were out there, Nick was able to find the Department of Administration, the State Department of Administration, has a Department of Shared Services, and one of the things that they do is HR. And it's a full turnkey HR operation. We have an on-site liaison, and that's a portion of their job, and anything that comes in on site, a couple of things that need to be pushed to HR, they can handle. So they handle benefits, classification and compensation, recruiting, workers' comps, all employee relations issues that go on within an agency, background checks start to finish. So they handle they serve 17 state agencies. So I talked to about 5 of those agencies to find out what their experiences were. One of the agencies has 212 employees, so I did talk to one that has a larger staff. And every person I talked to said the relationship worked beautifully. They were very pleased. It has taken the burden off of them. They were happy with the turnaround time. The employees were happy. The other thing that they are able to do is write policy, where we do have some, some needs for policies in HR. They can handle that. So we have done a lot of due diligence in digging into this. Our team is very excited about this opportunity. Nick especially. He would act as the liaison for HR, the ongoing liaison for HR. So in the budget last year, you all had budgeted $225,000 for HR department to enter into an MOU with shared services is a $205,000 cost. So we feel like that's a great benefit. They have 10 people in-house. When someone calls, they get a person. It's not automated. If the HR person is out, it rolls to the next person. They have a staff of 10, very responsive, very good turnaround times. So we're very excited about trying this. The great thing is it is an MOU, and if it doesn't work, they require 60 days notice to end the contract. So we feel like it is definitely worth trying, and have heard so many good things. So that's sort of a brief overview, and I can fill in any gaps.
Any questions or discussion?
So when you talk to the other agencies that use them, I mean, dispelling the old myth, we're from the government, we're here to help you, right? I mean, they felt like it's not like some of our interactions with other government agencies.
Right. Well, that was definitely our concern, and the really nice thing about it is when we were looking at looking at a contract, you have to have somebody that understands PPDA and SKIS and all the state systems. So these people understand it better than anybody. We know that whatever they do, it's going to be right. It's going to be the way that it should be. And in fact, the information that I got was, I mean, I talked to the executive directors at each of these agencies, and one of them said it was a beautiful relationship. So not just lukewarm, yes, this is okay, resounding, this is great, this has saved our agency a lot of hassle, a lot of trouble, plus we can really rely on them. We go to them for advice, they advise, they give feedback, but the agency remains the decision maker. But this is support, and I think it's a really elegant solution to.
And how much is the savings again?
It's $20,000 in savings, and then there are costs also that are included that we have besides the salary and benefits. We have certification and development and recruiting and advertising. They handle all of that. We've been paying for background checks. They do that. What I heard from them. I ask everyone about their turnaround times from start to from posting a job to having someone in the in-house. They said it's been about a month to 6 weeks, which is better than we've been able to do. So I find that really, really encouraging.
Any other? Susan?
Yes, great.
Okay, so
Thank you.
no further discussion. All in favor of the resolution to contract with HR for our services, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes. All opposed? The ayes have it. It is unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Okay,
Thank you very
Allison.
much. Okay, I will launch right in. Today, I'd really like to take my time to say thank you to a lot of different people. So since we were here last month, we have had a number of events. We've had 2 Vietnam War Veterans Day events. Our team spent 3 days at the Flower Town Festival. We have opened up. We had the reception, as Ms. Marlowe mentioned, the reception for all who served. And then we move in today to we're having a sneak peek for our staff and of that exhibition. We're having a sneak peek for our staff and for Friends of the Fleet holders. And then on Saturday, in the 80th anniversary of the Fighting Lady, we have that exhibition opens to the public. We have a full day of really wonderful, fun events lined up for Saturday. So I just want to take a second to echo Ms. Marlowe's thank yous to Meredith Kablick and her staff, Melissa Buchanan, Miranda Helton, Colby Calsey, Joe Bosco, Ben Ewick, and from the Ops Department providing incredible support and help and work Brian Parsons and Jim Vickers just did a great job. Also, with all of these events that we're talking about, it requires many hands, and our team really comes together. And I have to give a big shout out to Chris Howe for his leadership over the course of all of these events. We also had Medal of Honor Week activities that we were excited to be a part of. Really great leadership and just taking the bull by the horns with so many different events and working through all of that. And his staff, and especially Matt George, really has risen to many challenges, and he's been great. And Katie has stepped in because she is still also on Chris's staff, along with serving in the administrative role. And our event staff, who always steps in and supports these events, Patty Amon and Austin Poisson, they did a great job stepping in on all of that. And
Video game.
somebody's calling.
Who is it? Who's the builder?
Big guy. And last but not least, supporting all of these events and everything we do here all the time is our custodial staff, Diane Brown and her team, her understaffed team, who always come in, do a great job, have a great attitude. I saw Miss Diane yesterday morning early, and I saw her last night. So just a big thank you to the great work that the whole team does coming together. It's a great team effort. I'd also last night I was a little remiss and did not thank the Yorktown Foundation for supporting the event, the exhibition, and the reception last night. Chauncey Clark, the chairman of the Yorktown Foundation, is here, and I just want to just make a couple little comments. It's the 10th year of the Yorktown Foundation. They have been in business for 10 years. And in the last couple of months, there's just been a lot going on that the Yorktown Foundation has supported. And now, when the Yorktown Foundation supports it, that means that there are donors and sponsors and grants and lots of people joining to make things happen. So the restoration of the 2 aircraft, the new optical landing system that's up on the flight deck, the 4th of July fireworks, the start on that. The 80th anniversary exhibition and reception, Vietnam War Veterans Day activities, Clover Health supported those, the volunteer luncheon. These are just a few things, but in the last 2 months, the foundation has supported museum projects and programs that directly impact the visitor experience, $170,000 in 2 months. Since its inception in 2013, they have raised $2.6 million, and they have funded over $1.5 million in projects here at the ship. So I just want to take a moment to give a real shout out to the foundation for a job well done, and hopefully news on that front with new staffing is coming soon. And I want to also take a moment. I think Mr. Simpson had mentioned, but Mike Hunsinger with the Laffey Association is tucked away back here. He is the new president of the Laffey Association, and Mr. Simpson mentioned the great work that they have been doing. So we're proud to welcome him here. Also, I don't believe Dean is here, but Dean Peterson, who is the Yorktown Association president, they have a work party. 5 other members of the Yorktown crew members are here in honor of the 80th celebration and the work party. So just want to welcome them back to their ship. And to wrap all that up, I just want to say onward and upward with race week next week.
Be ready.
Yeah.
Help us.
Thank y'all for all you do and all your support.
Thank you, Allison. Any public comments? On that. Also, were there any questions of Allison?
Sorry.
You're right past them. If there are no public comments, then Chair would entertain a motion to move into executive session for the purpose of discussing contractual, legal, and personnel matters pertaining to Baker's Point.
We move to go into executive session for the reading stated and published.
Second.
There's a Susan seconds. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed?
Oh, yes.
Who's just gonna do it?
Oh, yeah. We
What?
will
Just-
set
Cause
us up.
somebody's gonna do it.
We're streaming and.
Plus, they're not really Boy Scouts.
All right, yeah. Okay,
The mics are.
we're out of executive session, no votes were taken. You may note that on the agenda, I should have pointed this out earlier, but I've added and it'll be on all agendas going forward, other business. We come out of executive session if we have a vote, anything like that. Today, we have one, it's to make Allison the secretary. Traditionally, the executive director serves as a secretary for convenience of the board. So you got a resolution. And I'll read it for the benefit of our guys virtually. Resolution by the Patriots Point Development Authority appointing Allison Hunt Secretary of the Authority. Whereas the authority has appointed Allison Hunt as the Executive Director and desires to appoint her as Secretary of the Authority. The motion properly seconded is as follows. The board hereby appoints Allison Hunt Secretary of the Authority until her death, resignation, removal, or until her successor is duly appointed. This resolution is effective upon its enactment by the board of the Patriots Point Development Authority, Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. This resolution shall forthwith be filed with authorities' resolutions in the manner prescribed by law enacted today. So, is there a motion to approve this resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
So moved.
All right, it's been Pat, so Susan has
Yes.
moved approval and Pat has seconded it. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of appointing Allison our secretary signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All opposed? The ayes have it. It's unanimous. Thank you. Our next meeting is scheduled for May 19th, 9:30. And if there is no other business, we stand adjourned. Thank y'all for your time.